up, everybody? Welcome to another great chat. Can't wait to get into it with you guys this evening. As you can see, I've started when the sun is up. I always like it when we start early. I feel like we get more out of the day. Plus, you get me when I'm nice and peppy and rested too, which is a lot better than the tired Nicole. Obviously. So what's new with you guys? How's the past week been treating you? I know I wasn't on for the past couple of days. Sorry about that. Stuff happens sometimes. Nothing that I planned, of course. The other day I was too tired, and then, yesterday had a little bit of a unexpected surprise that I had to deal with, so... But all is well and good now. Could have been worse. Could have been worse, for sure. But yeah. I decided to call off work today and take it easy. And so, that allots me the time to sit here and hang out with you guys. More people are getting back to work. Well, yeah, I see it any day now. No, I don't mean any day now. Any month now. Things should be getting back to normal. Hey, Mr. Wizard. Oh, what's up? How are you? How you doing, Cypher Horse? Snazzy shades? Why, yes. I just picked them up recently. Aren't they divine? I think they go just absolutely swell. Hey, how are ya? Gotta admit, I'm only wearing them because I like them so much. You know, kind of like the new toy kind of thing. You get something new, you're just like, can I just keep it right here on my desk so I can look at it? Oh boy, there's a text for me. Oh, you like the shades too? Somehow I just knew you guys would adore them. Same here. Ah, yes. Good old notifications. Let me put this away and then we'll flip the record like we usually do. Won't you join me? There. Stay there for a second. This way. So how's everybody feeling on this fine afternoon? It's not often that we have the pleasure of hanging out together in the daytime. I really do cherish it whenever we're able to do that. You have me at my most attentive. I am well fed, well rested. You know, fresh as a daisy. That's why I always try to come on here as soon as possible, but sometimes you just can't always make it happen. That's why I'm regretful that I wasn't able to come on yesterday or the day before. I knew I was going to be disappointing some people, but we got through it. We all got through it together. Let's see about the...
Samurai sword on my back. You don't know how to act. Maybe you should relax. Maybe you should relapse. Just kidding.
Intimidating as I can. I certainly hope you're shaking in your boots. At very least, I hope you're intrigued. That's what you learn living in a city. You gotta have that air about you, like, don't mess with me. I don't know who that is. You got a vaccine today? That is fantastic. I'm super happy for you. Is it the one where you have to get a second one in a few weeks too? Thank you, my darling. I even went so far as to paint my nails, and I usually don't do that. I usually keep them pretty natural because I'm usually doing so much stuff with my hands that it's almost not even worth it, but I figured, why not? It's springtime and I'm in a springtime mood. Gosh darn it, I'm gonna paint them and to see how long they last, and they're doing pretty well. Usually my index fingers are the first ones to go, but they're only a little bit scratched. I have heard of a Nintendo. What about it? I've never actually played it. Thank you. I like it. I like the periwinkle color. Doesn't really go with my outfit in any way, but I don't care. Do you? I thought about going with red. I'm like, everyone goes with red. No red. Something else. Anything but red. It's just what I need. Red lips and red nails. Might as well just go blonde too and fit in like the rest of the girls. Yes. We Amish people aren't allowed to play Nintendo. Only Atari. It's part of our religion. It says nothing but Atari. Oh, the Olive Garden date? Am I not... Is this not good enough for the Garden of Olives? Stepford? Why does that sound so familiar? What do you mean by it? I'm almost afraid to ask. I think I am gonna have a nice stream. I can just feel it. Sometimes you get those feelings, you know? Going into something, you're like, this is gonna be alright. I got this. Or other times where you're like, I got a bad feeling. Something's gonna happen. Usually you gotta trust those feelings. Not always, though. Yeah, I enjoy our streams, too. I hope you guys get something out of it. God, our Olive Garden is a fancy joint and they need to be in a fancy dress. I mean, have you seen how some of the gals these days are dressing? I think I'm gonna probably outdress them all. Even with my casual outfits. You want me to put on my fanciest yoga pants and my best, I don't know, antiperspirant top? Put my hair in one of those really nice buns? I don't know. What is nice exactly? Yeah, yoga pants for sure. Just keep dreaming. Yeah, I have a feeling like these glasses are gonna go with a lot of my outfits. I was just browsing around, like, well, let's see what they've got in this category. That's almost a pun, because they're cat eye glasses. Well, let's see what's in this category. Anyway, enough with the lame humor. I happened upon these, and I was like, those are really nice. They have the shape I need. But did they come in white? I wonder. And luckily for me, they did. No, I wasn't mocking fat chicks. I was mocking people who were pretty, I guess, unremarkable in general, regardless of their build. Just, I don't know. I'm a fashion snob in a weird way, so don't mind my opinion. I happen to have a few biases when it comes to the way I dress. Why are men shamed when they wear yoga pants? I don't know. I thought that cyclists have been doing it for decades. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of guys that wear it for that reason. I don't know. I don't know. It's a very good question. No. No disrespect particularly towards anyone of any build. You can look good no matter if you're fat or not. It depends on how you work around your contours, if you will. There's plenty of things that I can't wear. I'll be like, oh, that's such a pretty outfit. It looks so good on that person. Let me see. Let me take it to the changing room. Oh, this doesn't work with my body style. You know, just, it's the same thing, regardless of what size you are. What? Not everyone can have my perfect hourglass figure. It's a little, I don't know. It could be more hourglassy, in my opinion. That's my personal critique of myself. But exercise, girl. It's probably what I need to do anyway. Just get back into exercise and then it'll probably look a little better. It's okay. It's decent. Now you can't look yourself in the mirror. No, I like that joke. I just now got around to it. That's pretty funny, though. That's hilarious. I actually have an hourglass right over there. Have I ever shown it to you guys? Here. It'll only take a second. You'll probably think it's mildly interesting. See? How's about that? They just don't make them like this anymore. So yeah. Time's a wasting. Hop to it. But as you can see, the sand really goes through it. It's working. If you don't move it. I don't know if it's actually an hour though. I think this is just a curio for decoration. Yes. Don't reset it. Poison, my dear. These things must be done delicately. But yeah. These are the days of our lives. I think that show is still on television. I know, yeah. I know a few of them still are. A bunch of them that I never watched to begin with, and I still don't. My mother's really into General Hospital. She's been watching for decades. Oh my golly, you just don't get sick of it, do ya? I kind of want to turn this up a little bit. And the same actors. A lot of them, yeah. There's a lot of them that have been on the show for ages. They're just legacy members of the show. So it's really funny to me. I'm just like, I would have gotten sick of it so long ago. I haven't, there's so many shows that I've started watching and then I was like, this is taking too long to wrap it up. I'm getting bored. I guess I'm a little restless. Movies suit me very well. I can watch a few movies in tandem. Obviously with a few breaks for food and other such things too in between. But I've done it so many times, especially when there's no place to go. Like whenever there's bad weather or something like that, you just kind of want to stay indoors. To me, that's movie time. Or read a book. But I know that if I read a book when it's raining outside, I'll probably fall asleep. It's happened so many times where I'm like, wait, where's my chapter? I lost it because I fell asleep reading. So the book closes up and I'm just like, darn it. What was it? What page was it? Oh, goodness. My book has actually gathered dust. That's how long it's been since no longer do. So, you know, you pick your battles in life. Besides, it'd be really funny for them trying to tell me it's wrong. When my father does it sometimes too. And I'm like, oh, you naughty, naughty, bad man. Making me feel guilty about it when I was a kid, and then all the while, here you are, being a hypocrite. And so, naturally, that argument ended in a stalemate, and so we've arrived at the conclusion that we're at today, that there's more important things to worry about, so long as everyone's being responsible and respectful. Don't take that kind of stuff outside or anything. Yeah, it's not hurting anyone. It's not even bad for your health, really. Only mildly. But, I don't know. It's one of those things that I don't really like talking. I spend half of my time. You know, sometimes it's stuffy and warm in there, and other times it's absolutely cold, and I'm like, I need gloves indoors. Amazing, you say? Well, thank you. Most of you seem to like my look. I know I liked it. Golly, if I was worried about what people thought, you'd think I'd still be doing what I've always been doing? Absolutely not. I've got just as many bad comments as I have good in my life. But you can't live your life based off other people's personal reviews. It's just unwise. Yeah. Luckily, I've got one of those desks that was custom built to be like really tall, so I have like an office bar stool chair, if you will, but a lot of times I will just scoot it out of the way and stand. Either way, it's at a comfortable height, so I'll switch off if my butt's getting sore. My tush. I should probably buy one of those little pillows, but that would just encourage me to continue sitting. Plus, you know, I'm pretty active elsewhere. Yeah, I don't know if it was built to be a standing desk or not, but it is a standing desk now. Think about like a traditional wood desk, like at an 1800s like accountant office with like the leather top and everything, but it's just tall. It has drawers and little compartments for papers and things, and you know, computer hookup and all that stuff. It's not as cool as the Boss Man's. He's got one that has like a nice blonde wood finish. Mine is just basic. But mine was his before he got a new one. Look who it is. Whom is it? Yeah, I read all about, you know, circulation and all that stuff. I remember in the 90s and the early 2000s, there was a lot of emerging studies about, you know, office workers having poor circulation and having a higher likelihood for health problems, including chiefly among which of blood clots, mainly in the legs. So, you know, it incentivized a lot of people to do something about it. And then they started making those really nice standing desks. Most of them are pretty expensive at first, but you can get a decent one these days for cheap. But since we've got a shop full of wood and a whole bunch of carpenters, we just turn to them and be like, hey, you know, you get paid to work here. Why not do some extra credit? Get some extra hours. Can you build the Boss Man and I a desk? And they're like, sure. Draw it up and we'll build it. That was pretty neat. Yeah. Yeah. I remember a lot of articles about how sitting for long periods of time is bad for you, all the things it does. So, and I can feel it too, because I'm very active. And when I start streaming for long periods of time and I'm sitting here, I'm not saying anything, but I can kind of feel funny while I'm sitting here. Like my body wants to move. So that's when I'll kind of take you guys someplace around the house. It's pretty nice. It's like long car rides when you want to stretch your legs at the gas station. How much would they charge to build you a wooden desk? I'm not really sure. Honestly. I don't really deal with the numbers. I just do the designing part. Once they tell me what the design is, then I bring it into a three-dimensional form and, you know, hand over the printed papers to the experts to then make it a reality. They come up with an idea, I turn the idea into a concept, and then the builders turn the concept into reality. So it's a pretty interesting process. I love the philosophy of business. It's just something about production at its purest and most streamlined form has like a air of beauty and grace to it. I am over dramatizing it a bit, but I would even go so much further as to say it's like when you've got the business humming along like that, it's like a ballet. Everyone does their dance, and together something beautiful happens. Girl, chill out. It is just a cabinet shop. How long have we got today? More than a few hours. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, this isn't the latest colorful, high action, high pace. Oh, for Pete's sake. Knock it off with that yippee hippie stuff. My feet. My dogs are barking once in a while. They could use a little bit of loosening up from time to time. I just usually am the one who has to do it. Have you ever cracked your toes before? This guy showed me how to do it one time. Of course, I wasn't letting him do it to me. I was like, absolutely not. Show me on somebody else. So he showed me on one of my friends, and I was like, oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I think I can do that. angry with you. When I get angry with people, I tell them off very vocally. They're usually left standing there with all the answers they need. No wondering what was it all about or whatever happened. I've just had a busy few days and can't quite make time for it the way I was in the beginning. Be patient with me, though. I'll be back in due time, just as I always am. I should have let him do it. I don't know. If you had known this particular person, you'd know why I decided to opt out. He was a friend's uncle, and this uncle was kind of a deadbeat. He's funny, though. He's fun to be around, but, you know, he's kind of a deadbeat. And the only reason why I was over there is because that's where my friend lived, and his uncle lived there, too. So here we are. And he comes down there, weird and goofy as he always is, talking about how, hey, man, have you ever popped your toes before? And I'm like, what? No, not on purpose. He was like, oh, it's the best. Here, let me show you. Give me your feet. And I'm like, I'm not letting you do that to me. Do it to somebody else. Show me on someone else. He's like, all right, Matt, give me your feet. And so my friend with particularly large feet whips out his feet, and the guy's is like, all right, you take it like this, and then you fold it under like this, and he goes, cracks the guy's toes. And oh God, my friend had just gotten off from a motorcycle injury, so he jumped up and he was like, I hate you. Why did you do that? But I was like, okay, I think I get the idea. I'll just try it on myself later in private. I'm not used to letting people's uncles go cracking my bare feet. It's weird. Yeah, no, he had pontoons for feet. He wears a size 15 shoe. Coins in the fountain. Oh, that was side 2. Let's see. I like this record a lot, even though it's kind of tiny, as you can see. I like it a lot. Soothing sounds. There we go. I didn't say that was my size. Are you insane? Not with my height. I'm a 7.5 wide. I can't have narrow shoes. A lot of athletic shoes run kind of slim. So, it could be a 7.5 to 8. It depends on who makes the shoe. But no, that was my friend, for goodness sake. Holy cow. He has to special order his shoes. And he was buying a size 15 shoe when he was like a teenager, when he was like 17 years old. So, I don't know where he gets those things. What a pretty day it is today. The birds were chirping when the sun came out. I found it hard to stay in bed with just a beautiful morning the way it was. That's a nice way to wake. And somebody had already set the coffee maker. So I just came in there and poured it. That thing's pretty swell. You know, we're getting a new toaster. I think you guys are going to like it. It's gonna match the kitchen's color. It's kind of on the nice end, which is good because our old toaster is pretty worn. It's like 20 years old or something. Yeah, I know about the Voyager. Yes, and you can buy that record too. They quickly after that event started releasing copies of the record. Yeah, it's a gold-plated record and instructions for how a phonograph works and a diagram of the male and female form nude, which drew a little bit of controversy at the time. And also, I think it's kind of like a roadmap to finding where we came from. Utterly fascinating. I think that was the first and the last of its kind as far as an experimental attempt at communication. Pretty cool, though. Pretty neat. Carl Sagan was behind the whole thing. It's a little bit too cold for me to open the window, otherwise I would have done that today. It's kind of nice out there, though, if you're in the sunshine. Hey, that's swell. Score 1 for you. Hygiene is always important. Even better. Give it a crew cut, did you? Make it extra close on the sides. Okay. If you're planning on wearing something skimpy to the beach, it is a good measure. Good measure. No, it's a good idea. I actually have heard of plenty of guys doing that before. I see nothing wrong with it. Nothing whatsoever. If anything, it probably, is more hygienic. Are you too afraid to have it permanently laser removed? Absolutely safe. Plenty of people have the very same laser on their faces and other sensitive areas. Even their underarms. But if you did that, after a few sessions, you wouldn't have to ever buy another razor blade again. There are some girls that will get their self lasered down there in a way. I was reading pamphlets one time and there was an advertisement for this hair removal place in the back and they were listing some of the places that they laser and I was like, do people really do that? Like, do they go into the doctor's office and disrobe? Entirely? I don't know if I'm that brave. I'm pretty confident with myself, but I mean, to just walk into the room and be like, hello, doc. and just drop your pants and be like, so we doing this? I just don't know if I would be, if I'd have what it takes. I might chicken out right at the very last minute. I can't do this. I'm going home. Oh, goodness. Miss Nicole, we're ready for you. Nicole? Nicole? Johnson! Ah, yes, right away. Oh, goodness. The places we go sometimes. Okay. Tell your mother I said hello. Oh, he will too. If I know him. Toodaloo. Ciao, Bella. Au revoir. Bon voyage. I'm in kind of a silly mood today. I can't explain why. I guess I'm just pretty well rested. All the trees outside have these little green buds on them. Everything's slowly starting to turn green. Even the lawn is starting to turn green. And I just get so excited. I'm so happy that the cold is going away. Yes, I did forget adios. I could have kept going, but I didn't want to overdo it. I feel like I've overdone a few jokes already. Maybe just spread out the overdoing. Like I said, though, I'm in quite a silly mood today, and I think you've noticed. I know I have. I beg your pardon. What am I up to? Me personally? We're just sitting and listening to records. I'm enjoying the weather, waiting for some deliveries. I have these two very nice dresses coming in the mail, and I think you guys are gonna like them. I sure think they're swell. They're very, well, fancy. One of them I think is either dark navy blue or black, and it has this shiny gold pattern on the collar and down at the bottom of the dress where the hemline is, and then it comes with a belt that's silver to accent it. And you know, it's kind of like a circle skirt. It's a full dress. It goes down to my knees or so. And then the other one is more of like a cocktail dress. It's more slim fitting, like a pencil skirt almost, and it has like this bow that ties around the waist, and it's black silk with these little gold circle patterns on them. Not polka dots, like little gold rings almost. I think you'll find it most tasteful, the two of them. And then the other thing that I had ordered were the sunglasses that I so boldly flaunted for you at the beginning of the stream. I don't care what anyone says. Those are fabulous. I have my modest blue ones with the gold accent, but those are for stepping out. You like my dressing? Well, thank you. I'm very scrupulous about what I choose. What I do, one of the strategies that I have for shopping on the internet, that I've developed anyway, is to just fill up my shopping cart with a bunch of things that I think I would like. And then once I think I've exhausted all of the options or have enough in my cart, that I will go through them and select the one or ones that I want and get rid of everything else. So I had a whole bunch of different glasses that were very similar in there, and then through process of elimination and closer inspection, I found the ones that I thought would look the best, and I'm very satisfied with what I came with. Yeah. So, after years of just kind of like going with what I thought would fit and then getting something and be like, "Oh, no, this has gone horribly wrong. This is too small. This is too large, or just fits funny." Now I pay a lot closer attention because I just got sick of wasting money and having to send things back. Sometimes there wasn't a return policy, so I was like, well, I'm stuck with a thing I'm not going to use. This is great. Way to go, Nicole. My introduction to online shopping was a rough one. But a lot of those things I was able to sell to like vintage consignment shops because, you know, luckily they're worth something, just nowhere near what I had paid for them. But that's life. You live, you learn. You wear t-shirt and baggy pants? That's how my friend Bobby used to dress. He used to wear very fancy sneakers, and he would have, I suppose, like men's slacks on that he wore because he liked them to wear them very baggy, and he didn't like to wear denim for some reason. So he wore like slacks for suits and everything like that, and then he would wear a t-shirt expressing his personal tastes, usually with some kind of doom metal band title on the front, because he was into a lot of strange music, so he dressed a little different. I thought the slacks were a nice touch, though, to the whole thing. He made it work. He always coordinated his colors, as garish as they may have been. He definitely knew how to coordinate. Click and buy. That can get a little expensive sometimes. But like I said, I haven't had so much luck with it. I have particular measurements. Wait, is what a radio? In the background? That we're listening to? Yeah, this is all older equipment. We keep things for a long time around here, and some of this stuff is hand-me-downs, and then the other half is just stuff that I've found over the years and added to the collection. But yeah, the amplifier is, I think, a 1972 JCPenney amplifier. I'm not quite sure the serial number and the other specs, but that's what it says on it. And then, of course, I have my record player, which is a Kenwood record player from, I think, the late 1970s, mid to late. It's not wood paneled, so I can tell that it's a little bit later. It's kind of a grayish color, and I think that's nice. I don't want to overdo the wood thing in here. Oh, you want to see it? Sure, absolutely. If you like that, the shelf unit, you would like my more travel size radio. The Kmart radio from 1968-69. Here we go. This is the stuff in question. See, here's the record that we're listening to at current. That's the brand name. Trying to line it up. See, Kenwood. And then, of course, here's the amplifier that we're listening to. And where does it say it? Right up there, the JC Penney. See that? You like it? I've had it for a good long while. Little after high school. It's kind of shoddy. It's been repaired a few times. But it works very well. It withstands vibration pretty well too. I just like that look of it. I don't like too many black appliances. I like color. Design. But yeah, do you want to see the other radio, like my travel radio? I can just grab it really quickly. If not, that's fine too. No, you don't want this thing. It's not in that good a condition. It's been repaired. How on earth would you retrieve it? Assuming I did sell it to you, how on earth would you get it? You're not going to drive over here and pick up this 2-bit amplifier that you can find online in better condition. If you like it so much, I'll show you the specifications for it and the brand name, and you can look a better one up. Somebody who knows how to ship something like that properly will ship it to you. I've never done that before. I don't know. You don't want it. It's not worth more than a few bucks. It's like I guess a brand new that might cost like $80 back in the day. So it's probably worth less than that. It's probably worth $40 in the condition it's in. Depreciation, slight damage, wear and tear, that kind of thing. I'm glad you like it though. I think it's quite nice for a banger. It's not exactly low end, but it's not exactly high end either. It's pretty decent. We have a very small shelf radio from I think 1952. Yeah. I had my Panasonic from 1960 or 70 something. It was made of some kind of hard plastic. I just left that at a place I used to work. I didn't care. And then there's the other one that's from the late 1960s, I think. Maybe the early 1970s. It's the Kmart brand. Oh, hello. What's up? Welcome. What causes the orange glow on the record player? Well, there are these little patterns on the side of the platter that when it's rotating at a certain RPM, it'll kind of... It's an optical illusion because of the poor quality of the human eye, where it'll look like the little bar is staying centered right there where the light is shining on it, where it catches the light. But only when it's spinning at the right RPM. I usually do get around to talking to people on Instagram, so, you know, just wait around. I'll get to it, I promise you. I've been busy lately. I'll fill you guys in about why later, but for now it's not very relevant. But, here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It's not that easily explained. Okay, you see the light there? You see how there's a pattern that looks like it's being stationary due to the effect of the light shining on it? The pattern on the top looks like it's almost perfectly stationary. It could be adjusted to go a little slower, but it's close enough. And then the bottom part, you can see that it's spinning. So it looks like the top one's staying still and the other one's moving. That tells you by looking, not just that you have it set. That's pretty much what it is for, is to set the speed of the record player for the 45 RPM and the 33 1/3. So that's how you calibrate it on certain nicer record players so that you can get precision in the speed. You can tell if it's off and you can adjust it to get it back into adjustment. One of the few things that you can actually adjust and service on an appliance. Beautiful? Well, thank you, darling. I do my best. No makeup, though. No makeup and minimal effort on my hair. I've got so many things to do in my day. Getting all gussied up if we're not going any place is just no use. So I let the clothes do it all, and then I find a simple but practical option for my hair and forego the makeup entirely. Yeah, I guess so. Everyone's always thought that I was a bit dorky for having all these old things, and well, my parents used to dress me in clothes like this, and I stick with it because I like it, gosh darn it. But trust me, I've gotten plenty of flack. I'm very aware of how much of a offbeat I am. That's okay. Who wants to blend in with the rest of the sheep anyway? You know, you wake up every day, you know exactly what you're gonna do, and that's whatever the TV or the radio tells you is acceptable, and only that. And quiet desperations is not my style, dear. Only do it if you like it. Period. Oh, you don't think it's dorky? Really? I'm very pleasantly surprised to hear that. Ha ha ha! Oh, yeah? I'm glad you found it fascinating. Feel free to ask me more if you wish for me to expound upon it, because I'm just thinking aloud. I'm playing off of you, you know. You set him up, I knock him down. Or vice versa, but that's usually how it goes. Oh, I'll be 33 in May. So as I am sitting in front of you, I am 32. But it's worth mentioning that I'm towards the tail end of 32. Yeah, I will talk on Instagram, but I'm talking right here now, and I'm going to be here for a few hours, so maybe tomorrow. Yes. 32 years young. Well put. Eccentrically fashionable versus dorky. Well, that's good. I suppose it really kind of shows where your priorities are, depending on how you respond to other people's self-expression. You know, is it important to you to live and let live and appreciate other people's strangeness? Or is it important to you that we fit in and deviation just is a bad thing? It's not quite that simple, but I remember kids talking like that in high school, and I would think to myself, well, what's the difference? If you guys are gonna engage in a particular kind of fashion style right now, and then we're going to look back and laugh on it in 30 years. And what's the point of even the whole thing in general? You know, kind of after I've contemplated it for years and years, I've kind of been left with a nihilistic approach towards fashion of like, well, what's the point of trying to do what other people are doing if I don't even like it? And we're all gonna reject it after 15, 20 years anyway. So, it's just, to me, it seems weird to do that. So I said, I'm gonna do my thing. I like the way I've been brought up. I put my own twist on it, though. Don't think that my parents control the way I look. Influenced, yes. Certainly. Undoubtedly, even. But I put my own swing on it, and I dress a lot more sexy than they would like me to. But they let me do it because what else are they going to do? I'm going to be 33 years old. It's usually my father who says, Nicole, I don't think you should be wearing that. That's a little bit too provocative, don't you think? And I'm like, I always have to go, no, it's what all the ladies are doing these days. It's not that bad. All the girls wear their clothes like that. Okay. So, I get away with shorter dresses. This one's in the usual range, I'd have to say. Let's giddy up. Oh yeah, sure. That's what they all said. Real men? Interesting. All very interesting. Very insightful comments. Punk music. I don't know very well what punk music sounds like. I kind of know it when I hear it, but I know certain names of people. I know about Miss Patti Smith, I think it is, or Smythe, I think she might say. I can't really tell. It's not something that I've been turned on to. I suppose if I met somebody who really knew the genre and can show me good stuff, then I would be pretty open to it. Anything's worth a try. Oh yeah, the Cramps, I've heard of them. I remember seeing documentaries about how rock and roll has changed over the years, going beyond the stuff that I was brought up with, and it was fascinating to learn about things like punk music. So avant-garde. I never would have thought about doing what they're doing, but that's pretty cool stuff. I can at very least respect people's uniqueness. Whether or not I get into it is a different discussion altogether. What do you mean by 35 plus? Like people who are that age and older? If that's what you mean, you're dead on. know who LL Cool J is, but I don't know what songs are his. If you played it for me, I wouldn't know that it's him. But I know the songs when I hear them. Like, oh, I remember the song. And I certainly know his name, but I can't put the two together because I'm not learned in that way. Hello. Welcome. I don't know. Dating someone in their 20s is kind of a stretch because 25 is still pretty similar to, you know, like age 17. It's only 10 years removed from 15, so those people usually have different priorities, different interests than me, and we're just usually non-conducive. As much as I may respect the person entirely, it's just we come from different worlds, you see. And so, I don't bark up that tree, 'cause I know better. There's exception to any rule, but it tends to be the way it is. And besides, you know, trying to go about certain things like romance on the internet, for instance, is difficult to say the least. So, if you're having trouble in real life, the internet's only going to be even more of an uphill battle. What town do I live in? Oh, I don't usually give that kind of information. It's a middle-class town. It's not too wealthy, it's not too impoverished. I'd say it's a good middle. We don't have buses coming out here, so if that's what you mean. The nearest bus stop is at least a few miles down the street. What? Yeah, sure. We've just got a fake house on the top with a bunch of posters of how home interior stuck on the windows. Cleverly angled posters. Or do the thing like it did in Home Alone, where it's just a bunch of mannequins moving around with the window with the light shining on the curtains. No, I'm not married. I'm not dating anyone either. I'm single and enjoying it. I like my freedom, my space, my, you know, having the whole bed to myself is a thing I often give as an example of, well, this is kind of a nice luxury. And I'm going with that, at least for the foreseeable short-term future. I suppose I'll, you know, get back into it when I see fit. I'm taking a break. Oh yeah, like 40s, 50s, even 60s style. But yeah, we play plenty of Glenn Miller and Tommy Dorsey, and we can play Duke Ellington, Coleman Hawkins, Errol Garner. It's not specifically limited to, but it is largely such. Which is why I, you know, come out full frontal with it like that on the sign on the door. So when people come on in, they're not shocked in any way. But occasionally I'll switch it up. I have country records, and I have, I guess, rock and roll records. Yeah. I probably would have gotten along with your grandparents. We could at least talk about musicians. All my favorite musicians are dead. I once saw something really funny on the internet where it shows some little kid saying, I listen to dead people. And he's like listening to a record of Beethoven. Yes, come on in.
I need your driver's license number. I'm gonna just check.
Oh, sure.
Maybe
It's in my handbag right there in my
on there
in my wallet.
Okay, wait.
Push it.
That'd be this thing right here.
That would be right there. Just unbutton it and it's right in the center.
No, I'll just take it with me rather than try to get it out.
Okay, it slides out on the side.
Oh, it goes up. Oh no. It's blonde-proof.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I got no. It comes. Look, it comes up bottom.
Yeah.
You said side.
Well, the bottom is a side, isn't it?
Oh well, if you look this way, yeah.
That's how you're supposed to hold it.
I'm tired. It's time for more boots too. So.
Oh, I get it.
Okay, I'll bring my knife.
Yeah, good old mother. She needed my license for something. I think she's keeping track of the paperwork. That is one thing that we do keep very up to date with is paperwork, legal papers, receipts, things like that. You know, a lot of it is for insurance reasons, but it doesn't hurt just to have things documented. Oh yeah, my mother's been to New York City. It's not a good idea to leave her alone there. She'll find some trouble real quick. Oh, I can put on a mean face and mind my business. Walk very briskly and, you know, be short with people. I'm the kind of girl who usually panics later on down the road when I realize how close I came. I got a little bit of street smarts, but I don't belong by myself in the city any more than she does. Oh yeah, she's always looking out for my best interest. She's a dear. Oh goodness. Yeah, shouldn't go there. I've been in the city plenty of times, just me and a good friend, but he was the real streetwise one. Bobby again. Oh yeah? Nice. Yeah, I had the privilege of going there too. The first time I was a little toddler and I don't remember a thing, but the second time I was old enough to appreciate. And we did everything. We went to the, goodness gracious, we went to the Museum of Natural History. We rode around on a double-decker bus cooking in the sun. We had a hot dog on the street. We went to the Empire State Building and we went straight to the top and got to look around. That was mighty breathtaking until the very next day when we went on top of the Twin Towers, the one with the antenna on it. That was even scarier, but really cool. And then we got to eat in the little diner up there, and we went back down to visit some relatives too who live up there. We went to Fire Island and got to eat plenty of seafood on my cousin Vinny, I think he is. Everyone just calls him Cousin Vinny. I don't know if he's my father's cousin or my cousin, but everyone just calls him Cousin Vinny. Come back.
Okay, nothing is reported yet, so I made a copy of it so that in the event you're not here when I try it again.
Mm-hmm.
So in here of this. So.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. I tried this address and I tried the one on your license, the Kurtz.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oops.
It's okay though. Just let me know how it goes.
Absolutely.
Keep me up to date.
Okay, absolutely.
Oh goodness gracious. Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard that there was plenty of blocks that were just burning. Or was that Chicago? I think it was Chicago. Because MC5 has that song Motor City's Burning that they aptly came out with at that time. Sexy? What did I do that was sexy? I'm just sitting here. Oh goodness. Thank you anyway, though. No, I like the surprise pop-ins. I knew that they happen eventually. You guys saw my dad that one time, right? I was in the kitchen doing something. I think I was getting coffee and he came to get like a drink of milk or something out of the refrigerator. Yeah, would that be better? I'm just like, Mom! What are you doing? God, I hate my life. Would that be the better response? I'm not 15. Oh heavens no! Oh heavens no! Usually a t-shirt and his undershorts, thank goodness. It's his house, you know. You like that? Oh gosh, I love those kinds of characters, those high drama people. I love making fun of that kind of stuff. Oh yes, let the angst flow through you. Nice, well put. Oh, that sounds rough. I will not go to Philadelphia. Oh, that's good. Nice, very nice. There's a lot of historic buildings still left around there, and a lot of them are savable. Some of those buildings were built in the 1800s, the 20s, 30s, and 40s. They do have a lot of charm if you're willing to sink the, you know, 100 grand or so into it. I wouldn't say dominant. I would definitely say that I don't let people push me around. But I ride backseat sometimes. I don't always want to be making the decisions. It's a lot of work. Sometimes it's nice to just sit back, relax, and let someone else worry about it. Like a lawn service or cleaning the house. Things like that. Life is too short. Only half kidding there. Tongue in cheek, you know, tongue in cheek. I find the balance, you know? I find the balance. If nobody's taking charge, then I'll do it. But if somebody seems like they're a good leader and they're handling things quite well, I'm fine with the backseat, baby. So long as we get there somehow. But I'm the kind of person who thinks, well, you know, if nobody else is gonna do this, I might as well. It's how I wound up living here for so long is, you know, my parents, they need all the help they can get. And so, nobody else is around to help them, so I guess it's gonna be me. Might as well, anyway. I do take pride in good work. Even if I don't give much more than just the pride itself. It still has its own rewards, you know. Yeah, if you want something done right, sometimes you're the best man for the job, or in my case, the best woman, which is why a lot of those people at the auto parts stores are surprised at the stuff that I know about and the things that I can do, because I'm like, well, there just wasn't anyone else around, and can't exactly go lavishing money on services. Sometimes it's more cost effective to just be smart and figure it out. Strength to torque the wrench, though, is a whole other deal. Oftentimes I need help with that. But the cleverness to narrow down a problem, I fare pretty well for a novice. I think I'm a quick learner. I I try to be well-rounded, you know? You can't always rely on being pretty, because that doesn't last. And besides, it can only get you so far. Sometimes it's nice to be able to know how to do things. Like, I can change my own tire. I know exactly how to do that. I can jack the car up, and I know how to take off the lug nuts and swap it out with the donut. And so forth. Make sure to lower the jack again when you get back into the car. Put everything back securely so it doesn't roll around and drive along on your way. My only problem is having the strength to twist the bolts. I get about that far, I'm like, I can't do it! So I keep like a wooden mallet in there to hit it with. That way I can do it. Yeah. Do your own repairs. Well, I was just telling my friend this morning about, we were reliving an old story about a friend of mine who had taken his car to be serviced at a garage. And I think they changed his tires or rotated them or something. And he got down the street and his back left tire just popped off and went driving right past him. And then the front end of his car went up. And luckily he was able to pull over onto the shoulder without getting absolutely killed. Turns out they forgot to put the lug nuts on when they were reattaching his tires. They missed one. Not one lug nut, they missed one whole tire. What are you doing? Can you not count to 4? So, that could have been bad. But luckily he hadn't gotten that far before the darn thing popped off. And, yeah. Well, that's old news, but again, people who were supposed to be certified experts, you're supposed to be able to trust these people. I don't know, like Jethro was just having an off day or something and forgot to take the air gun all the way around and could have killed somebody. Needless to say, he lost his job. As I think was just punishment. Yeah, he definitely pressed charges. As quick as you can say lawyer. I'd like to see a day where I can drive up to the filling station and not have to get out of my car for any of their services, lest I see fit to. But at the same time, there is something to be said for doing it yourself. I don't know. It's a different world now. Record time. You know, I'm going to excuse myself for just a little while and I'm going to go to the powder room for a minute. But I'm going to leave you here with side 2. So that way you can just enjoy. Regarding what exactly? I'll always give my best attempt. Some people come in here asking you for some strange pointers, to use your term, and I'm like, well, it sounds like you need to consult a professional. I'm not certified in anything, so therefore I'm not qualified to give anyone any particular recommendations or diagnoses. The mid-1900s? Oh, well, I mean, everything here is pretty middle of the century. I guess I would be right at home with more of the same. I could handle it in the further back you go, the less pleased I'm going to be, because a lot of the comforts of home, if you will, have come around in the past 150 years. You know, so I don't think I would be too terribly out of place in the... I would prefer the 50s and the 60s, and I wouldn't mind living through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. That'd be right around where I'd want to say goodbye. Not like this world is any better or any worse. It's just... it doesn't play to my strong points. My talents lie in a lot more solid state equipment, and my social norms aren't really norms anymore. So, it would be the path of least resistance, but what's the fun in that? An interesting story has a character that must develop and face things that they never wanted to face. So, I guess I'm in for being an interesting story, because that's the road ahead. Yeah, I do collect antiques. Stuff in particular, I do happen to wind up with a lot of ashtrays. I see one that's pretty unique or pretty fancy or something like that, and I just can't help myself. I'm like, well, I'm sure I'll find a place for it. I need to stop doing that. That's not a good psychological characteristic. Nicole, stop. And I've gotten a lot better too. But, I don't know, odd things like that. I have a weakness for style and quality. Like when I saw that thing, I don't think I was in desperate need of a barometer or, you know, relative humidity dial, but it seemed like it was well made. It was certainly worth the money, and it had the right style, so I forked over the $5 or $6 plus tax. Yeah, I've got a weakness for stuff like that. Yeah, I know, right? Sometimes you have to slap your own wrists. Stop it! We agreed we weren't gonna do that anymore. Whether it's your New Year's resolution to stop buying useless stuff or to stop eating things that aren't good for you, sometimes you gotta slap your hand. No! Figurative, of course. You missed me? I missed you guys too. I'm sorry I didn't come on for the past 2 days. I couldn't do it. So tired. And then yesterday, you know, things came up. So I was unable. By the time I became free, I was exhausted. Do I prefer VHS, DVD, or Blu-ray? I'm fine with all of those things. I've been treated very well by VHS due to its, you know, it's very cheap and they're very readily available. Plus they last a really long time. They're not very high quality, but they're not too bad either. So for somebody who's been raised on that technology, it's easy for me to toggle betwixt the two. I have a DVD player. It's, you know, about 10, 15 years old by now, but I have it. Oh, you have a confession? I can only imagine. You have a collection of vintage ashtrays also? No kidding. Small world. They're more Do you use them? I do. Except for the one that I have in the bathroom. I don't really ash in it because it's got gold leaf on it, and the heat of the ashes will destroy the gold leaf. And I'm like, well, why did they make the ashtray so fancy that I can't use it? So I use it as I just rest things on it when I'm in the tub. The ashes can go somewhere else later. Oh, out of it the last time I was online? Yeah, for some reason I was like not able to process what you were writing. I was pretty tired. And I think I had too much, too much to inhale, and I was probably just a little bit more relaxed than I should have been, but it was a combination of the two, really. I could see it too in my own reflection in the cam. I was just like, man, I'm looking pretty beat today. But, at least I'm not too vain to go on while I look like that. I'm like, well, gonna have better days and not so good days. I just have to deal with it. Okay. Yeah, it does work in mysterious ways. So long as it works out in the end. That's really what works and what matters, so I'm glad that everything turned out right. I'm happy for you. Oh yeah, it's live. Of course. I think you ask that a lot. Every single time. I wouldn't call it an emotion roller coaster. I'm used to dealing with all sorts of people. I'm used to dealing with characters, people who are easygoing, people who are intense, some people who are not such good communicators, and others who are very, well, downright blunt, to put it nicely. This is just a more fast-paced version of what working in a car lot has already been for me. I grew up as a kid in that environment, and then at a very young age, I was employed kind of to work with my parents. So I had a lot of early hands-on experience with all kinds of people, and that might be the reason why I don't know. It doesn't bug me. I don't find it to be a roller coaster. It is a lot of fun though. Whatever it is, I do like to ride it. Oh yeah. Pretty blunt indeed. Not as blunt as a hammer. You really like my outfit? Oh, the depression glass. Yeah, don't you use like a certain kind of light to reveal that? Tell me more. Modest and conservative, which you find exciting and daring. Okay. The weather contraption, yeah, it's a barometer, combination thermometer, and also relative humidity gauge, or dial, if you will. Made by Elgin in Germany. By the time this thing came around, they had already had decades of a reputation of quality and precision. They made watches and very high-end Art Deco bicycles from the 30s, mostly, and the 40s. You should look. If you have even the most modest appreciation for vintage style of any kind, look up some of those Elgin bicycles, and the first thing that should pop up is some pretty fancy stuff. Like, they went all in when it came to contours and little extras and doodads. Now, I'm sure those bicycles weighed a literal ton, but It was quite a statement at the time. Very fancy. Mine's not quite to that degree. Mine's a J.C. Higgins. Does it really have any radium in it? Is that what makes it? No, it's not radium, it's uranium, right? Does it really have that in it? Because I've only ever had one thing that I ever even sort of suspected. And it's that little dish right back there with the cup on it that Lolita drinks out of. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm definitely pretty materialistic, so... I mean, I'm pretty sure that shows. I'm certainly nobody's minimalist. With all of my stuff that has contours on it and fine detail. What? Oh yeah? Schwinn's are pretty nice too. They have a reputation for quality as well. It doesn't have a banana seat. It has like one of those wider seats. It's more of like a city bike with larger tires to be able to hop curbs and bumps and things like that. Versus some of the more narrow, I suppose was it like 32-inch rims or the more European style touring bikes that are pretty common. And then there's the city cruiser bicycles that have large tires, the balloon tires as they're known, and those I think are 26 and something odd inch tubes. Because I just bought 2 new tubes. Gonna get my bicycle roadworthy again. It's been a few years, so. Not since we last spoke did I buy any new records, no, but I have been playing with the idea with a very generous contribution that happened not too long ago. I find myself quite in the market for a few things, and I was eyeballing a couple of records. Somebody was asking me about some records. Do you have this and do you have that? And sadly, I do not. So I was considering now, since I'm endowed with the power of money, and maybe I can rectify this deficit and get some real goodies to play on some, as they say, virgin vinyl, which is a brand new record, I guess, or nobody's ever owned it before. That sounds so pretentious when you say it, though. That's like saying nage de toi. Oh, pish posh, my darling. Virgin vinyl. Ha! Ha! She scoffs. That was side 2. I need to replace this thing. I don't like these. I don't care if they are better. I want the paper one. Let's play Music to Change Her Mind. Oh, this ought to be swell. I mean, look at that dame on the front. Ain't she a dish? I'd say it looks by the look of things, her mind's been plenty changed already. Let's see if Jackie Gleason can change our minds. Oh, Lord, I'm in rare form this evening. Is it evening yet? Yeah, it's evening. It's evening after 5, technically. I had to look it up one time because I'm like, when does the evening officially begin? I don't know. And I got like a general response from the people I asked, and then I did the smart thing and just Google searched it. I'm like, oh, 5 o'clock p.m. Okay. Lost it? I'll find it again. Don't worry. I lose it once in a while, but it comes on back. It's like a boomerang. Away it goes. Oh, there it is again. Fun stuff. Probably has something to do with being very well rested and having a lot of coffee today. Coffee was strong, so I think I'm trembling still. I don't know. I saw those little coffee shakes. Ugh, stop it with that. It's not funny anymore. Nobody does pills. It's not the 60s. Lester? What's his name? Lester Peterson? I've heard of that. Letter to a loved one. That rings a bell. The knob's missing? Where? This is the only knob in here. You're looking at her. Oh my goodness. That's like what my friend said today. He said that his mom was acting squirrely, and then she says very cleverly, I might add, well, if I'm a squirrel, then you're the nut. I loved it. I was like, oh my God, your mom burned you back. She totally burned you back. That's funny as heck. Points for mom. Molester. Interesting. I can't say that I'm very familiar with him, but I know that the letter to a loved one does sound vaguely familiar, so I may have heard the song. If I played it, I might recognize it. Oh, on the stereo receiver? No. There were some missing knobs on it when I first got it, but I found these 2 little caps to fancy perfume bottles that I was able to affix to because I was like, well, one's missing, so let's take the other one and make it one on either side here so it's symmetrical. And I painted the little line in one of the grooves so that you can tell what setting you're on, because they're all toggle switches. That's why they broke, is because somebody was being rough with them back in the old days, which I am not. But yeah, no, that thing is damaged goods. I just spruced stuff up, and I've got kind of a flair with being able to do it. Here, let me show you, actually. Quite proud of what I did. Just kind of on the fly. You see? All the knobs are supposed to be matching like this. But this one was missing when I first got it. So I wound up just, this one was missing and this one was missing. So I took this one, put it here, and then I put these little lids on it. So yeah, if you can see where I painted the line on it. Same thing with this one over here. And I'd say it's not that bad. I probably could have painted the inside of the cap with like some silver or gold to make it a little bit more attractive, but not bad for just some junk glued together, right? Can't even tell. It actually kind of looks neat. So yeah. But that's the story of my life. A lot of the things around here have been kind of tweaked and repaired. The spring that's supposed to make our toaster oven door stay up just failed. It just broke. So it kept falling down, falling open. It wouldn't stay shut. And so I took the housing off, and I took a pair of needle nose pliers and a safety pin. No, not a safety pin. A paper clip. and I trimmed a piece of metal and I bent